The latest on Alex Cappa, amazing news about Damar Hamlin, and other notes about your AFC North champion, Cincinnati Bengals. Hi again, everyone, and welcome in to Cincinnati Bengals Talk. I'm James Rapien of allbengals.com. Let's get to it. First off with Alex Cappa. And you got to hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for the latest news here on YouTube about Cappa, about the Bengals ahead of, well, Sunday nights, and more on that in a second, playoff matchup against the Baltimore Ravens. But let's talk about Alex Cappa because he, without a doubt, has been the Bengals' best offensive lineman this season. The right guard has stabilized that position, a position that was in flux and a revolving door both on the field and off of it last year. Get what I'm saying? It was a turnstile. It was a bad position in 2021, and it became a position of strength this season. And unfortunately, Alex Cappa went down in the third quarter of Sunday's game against the Ravens, their Week 18 win, 27-16, never returned. And Zach Taylor said it's going to be tough for him to play this week, Sunday night, against the Ravens in the wildcard round of the playoffs, which makes sense for a few reasons. One, I saw Cappa after the game, and he was celebrating with his teammates, and why not? 12-4 AFC North champions, back-to-back times for the first time in franchise history. They should celebrate, and I love that they did, and Elise, Jesse, and I talked about that on our post-game report. But the thing that really stood out to me about Cappa, he was rolling around on the scooter, had that left leg up on the scooter, and you know what I'm talking about. Right leg was using, he was walking with the right leg, but the ankle's swollen and really swollen. And anybody that's sprained your ankle or broken your ankle, you get that ball on the side of your ankle. That's what he had. And so it's just like, I went home thinking, all right, hopefully it's not broken. And Zach Taylor didn't give a ton of details. He didn't say whether or not it was season ending. Said he wasn't sure yet. They have to run more tests, but that this week would be tough for Alex Cappa. So it doesn't sound like the Bengals are going to have the starting right guard or starting right tackle. La'el Collins out for the season with a knee injury. We know that. Akeem Adeniji filled in pretty well, I think, in Collins' spot against the Ravens. Going to have to do it again this week against the Ravens, and we're on that matchup in just a second. But overall, it's a big question mark with Max Sharping, who's going to step in and start at right guard. And I love this addition when the Bengals added him and acquired him on waivers. In September. He was released by the Texans, which I still don't know why in the world they released him, the 2-win Texans, just to fumble the first overall pick in the last week of the season. But they released Max Sharping. The Bengals added him. And when they did that, I knew it was only a matter of time when he overtook Jackson Carman for the backup guard spot. And it took a few weeks for him to go from inactive to active. But then it happened. And so hopefully Max Sharping, it can be comfortable and can get moving and play a competent, position at right guard and be competent there. I think he's going to. I know Ted Karras believes in him, and we'll have more on Sharping throughout the week. I'm sure we'll hear from him right here on CBT. But that's the latest on Alex Cappa. Unfortunate news because, like I said, he has been their best offensive lineman. But Sunday Night Football, that's what it comes down to. Bengals, Ravens. We'll see if Lamar Jackson plays. If not, it's going to be Tyler Huntley at quarterback, and that's why the Ravens went with Walker on Sunday, because they wanted to make sure that, or with Brown, excuse me. There you go, with Anthony Brown, not Walker. I don't know what I was thinking, but maybe Kenneth Walker, who won a lot of fantasy leagues for people this year. Maybe that was the route I was going. But anyways, it went with Anthony Brown, who finished 19 of 44. He's not going to start this week against the Bengals. I think if I had to guess, I think it's going to be Tyler Huntley. Wouldn't shock me, though, if Lamar Jackson plays, because if you could get Lamar Jackson back with the way that defense played and you have J.K. Dobbins, well, it's a tough matchup for this Bengals team, as well as they're playing on defense and as well as they were playing on offense until Sunday's game, where they were really bad on offense for most of the game and still found a way to win, of course. So that's it's going to be an interesting matchup. But Sunday night, prime time, under the lights, what better way to ring in, Paycor Stadium, back-to-back playoff games, in back-to-back seasons, rather, at Paycor. And really, it's the right to play the Buffalo Bills. I think the Bills are going to beat the Dolphins this week. If that's the case, you go to Buffalo in the next round in the divisional round. All right, will earn that spot, get that rematch, and this time it'll be on the road. You figure that out. You cross that bridge when it comes. But it's a huge, huge matchup, and we're going to have a ton on this game all throughout the week. Last week, we didn't have a ton of game coverage, right? Game preview stuff. We'll have a lot this week getting you ready for Sunday Night Football. Bengals, Ravens, wild card round, playoff matchup on the line. And I'm excited for it. I know you're probably excited for it. We're going to be there. We're going to be covering this game. And again, the Bengals trying to push forward and make another postseason run. And we'll see if they can get it done. Great news, by the way, about Bills safety Damar Hamlin. I want to get into that and a few other thoughts on the Bengals. But this one goes out to Who Dey Nation. Fantasy Life knows how you guys feel about ruling the jungle, so they're giving you some action in the wild. By using the link in the description, you can bet $10 and get $200 on BetMGM if any NFL team scores a touchdown this week. I said that right. As long as you're 21 or older and located in Ohio, it's that easy. You bet $10 and get $200 on BetMGM if any NFL team scores a touchdown this week. It doesn't just have to be Jamar Chase or the Bengals or any NFL team. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Going undefeated in November and December is big, but the law of the jungle takes new shape in January. It's survival of the fittest and the road through the playoffs. And if you want team tips, betting picks, trash talk, quips, and more, subscribe to the free Fantasy Life newsletter at fantasylife.com. Can Joe, Jamar, and Zach lead this team into championship contention once again? Plus 750 odds say yes. But if you want to know where the guys stand amongst the competition week over week, they've got you covered straight to your inbox for free every day at fantasylife.com. That's DEY, of course, when they say every day. And make sure you check out fantasylife.com. Damar Hamlin is no longer in Cincinnati, or is making his way from Cincinnati to Buffalo. And it's the best news that you could have during about this situation. And Zach Taylor saying, quote, "God is great. He works miracles. This is certainly a miracle." Called it unbelievable that Hamlin, less than a week after going into the ICU, has not only been released by the University of Cincinnati Medical Center, but is making his way back to Buffalo. It's just awesome news. And so I wanted to share it. I know it's been a very emotional week plus for the Bengals, for fans, for Bills, for everyone that is involved in the NFL and really non-NFL fans. And so it's really cool that he's doing much better and has been released and gets to go back to Buffalo where he could continue to recover and hopefully make a 100% recovery. So I wanted to update everybody on that because I just think it's so awesome, so amazing that that's the case. And who knows, maybe this storyline, Bengals-Bills, will continue. But first, the Bengals have to get past the Ravens. And I know a lot of you were concerned about how the Bengals, especially the offense, played on Sunday. I kind of throw it out. And that doesn't mean that it's going to be easy on Sunday night, because I don't think it's going to be. It's tough going up against an opponent you face at least twice a year. This time it's going to be 3 times a year in this season. And look, the Ravens know the Bengals and the Bengals know the Ravens. And the Ravens are really good defensively. They added Roquan Smith, who certainly made his presence felt. I know Jamar Chase took notice of him, and they were going back at it. Smith was talking a lot of trash at Chase. And we know how Smith can play. I mean, Smith is playing for a contract, a big contract. And he was flying to the ball. And this Bengals offense, the good news is they got to look at this Ravens defense, all of it. And so they can adjust, they can make changes, and hopefully be much, much more consistent. I mean, they only scored once after scoring on the first 3 possessions. They only scored once, just a field goal. And that was it. The rest of the way, ugly. As good as Drew Chrisman was, as much as Joe Burrow, and he said he punted the bleep out of the ball. And that's awesome. But you want to see less Drew Chrisman, unless it's holding for extra points or maybe field goals. So less Drew Chrisman, the punter, this week in the wild card round would go a long way for the Bengals. So we'll see. We're going to have a ton on this game. Make sure you go to fantasylife.com. Make sure you check out everything we've had. A one-on-one interview with Mike Hilton that we posted today. Andrew Fox Miller put a Bengals reaction video together. We have a ton right here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. So hit that subscribe button, ring the bell. And for Andrew, I'm James Rapien, signing off for now on CBT, Cincinnati Bengals Talk.